Hello everybody, my name is Noob and welcome to a brand new series I'm going to be making called A Noob Plays Path of Exile. I plan to make many more series like this hopefully in the future. The series where I jump in headfirst into various different games and kind of share my journey with you. No matter how bad I might be at them, everything's going to be uploaded for you guys to see. And you'll be joining me as I learn the ropes, make lots of mistakes, and hopefully improve in the game along the way. So, what game are we playing? Well, I said the name is going to be Path of Exile. It's a classic ARPG inspired by Diablo 2. If you've never heard of it, it is a very complex kind of game where your job is to take one of these 7 characters and defeat eldritch horrors at the end of it, and hopefully clearing maps faster than you can blink. The game is massive. There are tons of skills and tons of different ways to play this game. You can pretty much pick any character and do whatever you want, although I do highly recommend that you pick a build guide and actually select something that you're going to be doing before you try and set out on your own. Now, I'm going to be real with you guys. I am a newbie at this game. I am still new. I only have about 500 hours in this game. I am not the most skilled player. I am not Ben. I am not Zizarin. I will struggle through some parts of this game still. But that's part of the fun. You guys get to see me struggle, and you get some entertainment out of it, hopefully. So, throughout all the fails, the laughs, and hopefully making some epic items or getting some sweet, sweet divine drops, we'll be going through this together. If you do see me doing something really dumb, like jumping into a pack of mobs and dying trying to pick up an item, that's to be expected. I am still learning, and hopefully you guys will help me learn along the way. If you guys have any tips, tricks, or anything of the like, please do not hesitate to share them in the comments down below. I am really excited to jump into this game right now because of Path of Exile 2 that is going to be releasing in early access on December 6th. So if any of you are brand new to this kind of series of games and want to try something fresh with everybody else, I highly recommend checking that out. It is $30 in order to get access to the early access. Once the game is fully released, it will be free to play just like normal Path of Exile is, which is going to be freaking awesome. But I'm super happy to be doing this adventure, and I hope all of you will be joining me in this. Whether you be a seasoned veteran or a completely new player, thank you for joining me. What is the goal for this series? We are going to be playing a witch, and the league mechanic that we are going to be learning in this series is one that I stopped after the very first map in the league and did not play that league at all, which is Sanctum. I did not like Sanctum when I first played it. I hated it, but I am determined to learn it. It is also a core mechanic in PoE 2, one of the 2 ways that you can ascend in PoE 2. And I want to learn how to do this mechanic. It makes a lot of money for a lot of players that know how to do it, and I want to learn this. So that is the goal of this. We're going to be going from a complete zero, nothing, well, as close to nothing as I have. I don't exactly know what I have on Necro Settlers, all the way to hopefully making tons of divines and fleshing out a build. The build that we're going to be doing is Hexblast Mine. We're going to be following Travik's Hexblast Mine. I will put a link to his video of the 3.24 video, because I don't think it's the 3.25, and the POB and stuff everything will all be down in the description. Go check him out. He's an awesome guy. That's where I learned how to do Blight and everything about Blight. Really, go check him out. And without further ado, let's get started here. Alright, without further ado, let us get started. We are going to be playing a witch, and let us name our character A Noob Plays Sanctum.
Innocence is our father, Ariath is our mother. When a daughter strays from the light,
Alright, we are in the Necro Settlers League. I do not know exactly how much I have in this, but let's just jump right in and get started. This first episode here is going to be going over the Act 1 and everything, and kind of what I would be doing. So first thing, I skip all the tutorials and put on move only. Make sure I have this. And our very first step is killing Hillock. Hillock is a very nasty first enemy, but he's fun. We're just gonna run through the coast here, this very first section, just to get through it. Most of these enemies are not worth killing because it takes a very long time to kill them. At least in my experience. And we're going to, as we run, we're going to be putting in our jet. For people that aren't quite aware, I do have about 500 hours in this game. I don't know a lot of it. I know how to get through the campaign, but not quickly. So, you know, hopefully we all learned something along the way. We've just met Hillock here. He's going to be 50% and he's going to phase and pull another sword out of himself. Or a sword out of himself. And our whole job is to beat him so we can head into town.
I need more mana.
Alright,
Well, I thought I'd
let's
be a
pick
dead
all of
woman
this
by
stuff
now.
up so we can sell it in town and get some of that sweet stuff. What is the end goal of Act 1 is? Well, the end goal of Act 1 is to beat Mervale. Let's see, do I have anything? I have nothing, so we are truly starting fresh. Let's throw on an extra wand here for more damage. And sell all of this
God
stuff for
hasn't abandoned
scraps.
us.
We don't need to talk to any of these people, I just am. And then we are going to grab rolling magma. We're going to check, see if he has any runner's boots. He does not have any runner's
Stay
boots,
sharp
which is
out there.
unfortunate. Throw rolling magma in there, and that'll be our DPS button as we go.
I know this
Sorry, I'm
slowly.
converting all my trees over to 3.25 on the POB here. Like I said, we are following Travik's POB for 3.24 Hex Blast Witch. And now we just have to run through the coast. I'll do this for a little bit more of a clear viewing for you guys. I do play with the big map pretty much all of the time. It's just something I do. As far as I know, the main layout for the coast is always going to be in a bottom, like a down right kind of trending like this. It's going to be over here. And it's usually somewhere over on this side of the map every single time. We could go to the tidal island, but it is much easier for us to go directly into the mudflats. Just jump straight into the mudflats and start killing some roas and hopefully not die.
To learn is to live.
We're only going to level up Arcane Surge once. I don't want it to cost too much mana to proc it. But I do want it to proc and help me. This would have been much easier if I picked up a chest piece earlier. There's one there that I'm going to pick up. Oh, an alchemy. That's very nice for us to see early on. We have 2 of these shells that we're supposed to be picking up in the mudflat. Each zone that you go in kind of has its own thing. You do not need to pick up the quest to actually do them.
I think this ray class will serve.
So that's why I'm just going to be ending up just running through the game without talking to any of the NPCs. We're not going to do this, but we are going to level up this. And we're going to pick up this, because everything is important, so just pick up everything. Everything can be sold at this point in the game, where we have no items. And now we just need to make it into the submerged passage. You do not want to be killing as many mobs as I do. Like, you don't want to be too over-leveled or under-leveled, but I'm just trying to make sure I take it very careful for this playthrough. I want to try not to die much. Although sometimes dying is something to happen. We gotta make sure we get in here before this guy decides to murder us. And we'll put in our first 5 points after we go back to town and sell something. Back to Lion Eyes Watch we go. So, where are our first points going into? First, let me set up my thing to not mute in the background so I can actually look at this and you guys still have sound. So our first set is going to be going towards Firewalker and Deep Wisdom on the tree. So Firewalker being right here and Deep Wisdom being right here. It kind of just depends on what we want to be doing. But our first 5 points are going to be going up this spell damage part of the tree towards our Arcanist Dominion. And we'll get this one as our next point. Then I'm just going to go up, I'm going to quickly grab Firewalker, then Practical Application, and then Deep Wisdom after that. And that should be around our Act 1 stuff. We did get a Lucky Orb of Alchemy, which is amazing. We do have 5 Wisdom Scrolls, which is nice, but we're just going to sell everything. I am going to ID these and hope they have movement speed. They don't, but they're better than what we're wearing, so we'll put them.
Take care.
You don't always want to be doing that with all the items. I'm just kind of taking the chance at it for this case. Now, the big important thing here is now that we've reached Submerged Passage, we're going to head back and we're going to do this Mercy Mission quest. What that entails is killing a guy named Hailrake, who shoots lots of ice abilities and tries to kill us. And that's going to give us our first utility flask. A utility flask is something that helps power up your player whenever it is used. In this case, it'll be a Quicksilver flask that we pick up that's going to make us move faster. Here's a blue pack here. I am just going to ignore the Settlers League mechanic. I could do it to gain some extra currency along the way, but honestly, I really just want to focus mainly on learning Sanctum. So we're going to do that first. And I'm going to be doing a lot of Sanctum. It's gonna be a whole lot of Sanctum. It's just gonna be played the entire time. I don't know if you can level up only through Sanctum. It would be nice if so, because I would love to use this as a learning opportunity just to completely learn it inside and out. But we'll see. Now the big thing here is we have 2 different things. We did get a portal scroll and we could portal out, but why do you want to waste your very important portal scroll when you could just exit the character screen and then smash enter really fast to log back in? And then we send that back in town anyway. We talk to Nissa and we get ourselves a Quicksilver flask. Then she gets a choice of gems here. So there are several options of these that you can use. Elemental Proliferation, Spell Cascade, Infuse Channeling, Chance to Poison, and Summon Phantasm. We're just going to go with Elemental Proliferation because we would like to ignite our enemies, which means we'll be doing more damage. We're going to throw this here. I only just realized that this is a 3-link, so we're going to be throwing Arcane Surge and all this into our 3-link there. We're going to sell all of our items.
While we live.
And I don't think there's any... Oh, there is. Awesome. Let's see here. What do we got? Contagion, Detonate, Flame Wall. This is what we want right here. So Flame Wall is a very nice skill. Anything that passes through it deals increased fire damage, as well as it deals fire damage itself. And we get Frostblink.
Stay sharp out there.
So this is our movement skill. I always love to have my movement skill on W and my Flame Wall on Q. I always set it up this way. We're going to throw all of this. We're going to keep our portal scroll onto us, just so we can go and quickly use it. I do have the keybind set up to use my portal scroll, and let's get started. So the biggest important part of this whole setup is we're going to ignore this guy here. And we want to find the broken bridge.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Whew. Necro settlers does not fuck around. Oh, Awaken PoE trade is on. I was trading some items in regular Settlers League before this. I'll have to turn that off here after. Oh, here's our first essence. We are going to try and kill this. Because essences are very, very nice to have. They give you some really nice things. Okay, I'll take a free elemental prolif. I wish I'd gotten that earlier, but that's okay. So we're going to put this point in before we do it, just to give us ourselves more spell damage and cast speed. And then you hit it 3 times, it pops out, and then you start the encounter. And we get ourselves an essence. Essences are things that you can use on normal items to bring them to a rare quality with 1 guaranteed property. Especially in this case for this one, it's restricted to level 35 and below. And you can see all the things that can give us. Let me see here. It'd be really nice if we found like a belt or something to use this on, but we're gonna go ahead and toss it onto this plate armor here. Cold res, lightning res. This is pretty good, pretty good. We like to see that. That gives us some defensives. That'll be very nice. Now the whole thing that we want to do here is we want to get to the waypoint of the ledge, and then we're going to go back into town, and then take our portal back to the submerged passage. Some abyss mobs are here, and that's okay. We'll just quickly end them and continue on our way. For those wondering why I'm choosing to use rolling magma, rolling magma is probably one of the best early level skills to use to level as a spellcast. It does a lot of damage, especially in conjunction with Flame Wall, and it is very nice. We won't actually get to use Hexblast Spine until probably around like 50 or something. I don't know the exact time. It'll be around Act 4, Act 5 is when we get to use it. Oh, we are not dead yet. Thank goodness. We are just gonna run because we are getting murdered. Nope. We are not gonna run. We're just gonna get murdered. And that's okay. That is this game in a nutshell. Ah, it's this guy that's doing it. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna frost blink away until we're safe-ish. Now I see our biggest enemy right here. They are fire and ignite resist. So you can see we don't do much damage to them, so our one and only source of winning is running away. Not every mob is meant to be beaten in this game, unfortunately. So we are just going to run as fast as we can away from these guys. And we're searching for a another area to go down, which is right over here actually. We just found it. Usually, if it is around this area, anywhere, if you see that this area is up here, it's either going to be up here or it's going to be down here. It's going to be one of those two sides. So we just hit level and we have a choice of going more elemental resistances or more damage. We're gonna go more damage. We like damage. Damage is fun. This first video is going to be fairly long as we get through it, and that's okay. The first couple acts are some of the longest in the game. I do have a strategy on how I want to play this, though. We're going to go and reach about 63, I think, is when you get the ability to go into heist. And that's how we're going to make our first set of currencies going through heist. If any seasoned veteran has a better idea without really entering maps, I really don't want to be running my atlas and doing this and that. I just want to purely focus on running Sanctum as much as possible. Throw it in the suggestions. Give me something about it. So right now, we just picked up a chain belt. A chain belt base gives us energy shield. We have a belt on, a rustic sash. The problem is rustic sash is global fizz damage. It doesn't do anything for us because we're a spellcaster. So we're gonna put a chain belt on instead. So we are tankier now. And our current thing that we are looking for is we are looking for the... Oh, we found him. The Dweller Deep, this guy right here. He is an essence mob. And this, I think this is the closest I've ever seen him be. I don't actually really know how to run through this area. So this is a surprise to me, but we're going to break him out here and start fighting, and hopefully we don't die.
When I'm ready and not before.
If we do die, that's okay. We'll just come back and fight him again. There we go, he's dead. We pick up everything that dropped, kill the last of these mobs, and we're going to do the same thing with exiting out and just clicking really quick. I'm going to take this opportunity here to turn off Awakened POE trade. I want to set Awakened POB trade. Right? Just so that we don't have to deal with that any longer. And what did we get? We got some Quiver, we got some Jade Amulet. We're going to look at this guy. I like the life regen. So we're just going to sell everything here. This gives us more cold resistance. That's nice. And so we're going to use it. Fire, cold, and max life on an energy shield belt is really nice. Especially for the early. That'll be used for a while. So, I like that. We're going to talk to Tarkley here for our skill book. Gives us a passive skill point to use, which is going to give us Firewalker, which is going to increase our fire damage, increase our cast speed with fire skills, and increase our fire resistance. So currently, our defensive, looking pretty meager, but for Act 1, I would say that's pretty good for a fresh character. Now, are we going fast by any stretch of the imagination? No. We are actually going pretty slow. But that's okay. Let us continue through the ledge and get to the next area. We are over leveled, so we can skip most of this. We're just going to start running because we don't need to be killing any of this until we get to like the prison. Ooh, an overchance. That's nice. Well, that was useless. I am still, that was completely useless. Oh yeah, I keep subconsciously having the map open just so I can see where I'm going because I don't actually play this game by looking at my character. Yeah, I don't like look at the ground. I am looking at the map the whole time. Oh, rare already. That's nice. Let's actually finish killing this guy. Nice. That gives us a level up, and then it's very nice. And let us just finish running through this area. There's a unique enemy here. Kuduku, we're just gonna ignore him. He's a pain in the ass to kill all the time. So we're just not going. I picked this up because I wanted to see if it was more spell damage, and it is, so we're just gonna do this real quick. And head to the climb. I would say we are probably almost about halfway done with the first act. The first 5 acts are the longest in this game. Leading into the last 5 acts, which are much shorter, but mostly just a repeat of the other acts. Speaking of repeating, if you guys have not watched, there is a video that I saw. It's called The Worst Guide to Path of Exile. If you have not watched that video, I highly recommend it. I'll go ahead and leave a link to it down in the description. And I highly recommend that you guys stop and go check that out. It is a fairly long one, but it is so worth your time watching. It is hilarious. I watched that video, and I watched his Worst Guide to Factorio and Worst Guide to Noita videos, and those were fantastic. I'm really hoping he puts out some more, although I know the whole content creation thing is difficult. So, I'm just praying. I'm hoping that he makes some more. They're really good. So we just leveled up again. We're going to go ahead and grab this one right here. And our next level is going to give us practical application. I will say, doing this kind of video and this kind of playthrough where I'm kind of starting with nothing, it's just like a fresh league start, but I'm actually taking it slow, is very refreshing. This is a very refreshing way to play the game, and I'm enjoying it, even though I haven't really done too much. Alright. Now that my brain is caught up, we are in the prison. This guy is really trying to eat us, which is okay.
Too much clutter.
Too much clutter. There we go. We're actually gonna go back to town here. Just so we can sell all this stuff. Normally you wouldn't do this during a actual league start. You just kind of want to get to the campaign as fast as possible. Oh, we got something else now. I don't remember what quest we did, but we've gotten combust support now, which is going to go on to, what does this do? More fire damage and more chance to ignite. We're going to go ahead and throw that over Arcane Surge here, and we're going to put Arcane Surge on Flame Wall. And then we are going to sell all of these.
Take care.
All these items I sold. Let's see if Tarkly has boots. I don't remember when he refreshes his store anymore. But it's always nice to check to see if he has any runner's boots. Alright, now that we're done with that, I should have put some stuff in my stash, but we'll do that at the next waypoint. So this area largely consists of these Diabolus, however you want to say it. These guys raise the dead, so everything you kill around them, they're gonna raise into the dead. And this is also the first area where we experience our first lab trial. The lab trial is, as soon as I can get to it, is a very important thing to be doing. There is something scary in this area, and he wants to eat me.
Fake smiles with sharp teeth.
Oh, it's a meat sack. Meat sack is a necro league kind of mob. He's just a very big monster that doesn't do any damage, but has a absolute metric shit ton of health. He's very annoying to fight, which is why I'm just kind of ignoring him and hoping he goes away. And we'll just bring him into this thing with us. This is the first lab trial. You can kind of play around it by running around in circles and running into these little alcoves for safety. If you do get hit, it does a portion of your HP. I believe it's max HP based is what it does. Is he still there or did he die? Oh, he died. Oh, we're gonna take a second. Yeah, I am by no means a fast leveler. I usually end up beating the campaign in about 6 to 7 hours. Really kind of depending on the league. The first thing we're gonna hit in case we die is we're gonna hit that, and then we're gonna try and kill these. There we go. Another medium mana flask, which is nice, and we'll level up our combust. We did level up, which means we're gonna put a point into practical application here. And we click this thing. There are 6 trials for your first lab that you do. There is another 3 trials for your second lab, another 3 for your third, I believe. I could be wrong. Fact check that information here real quick. Fact check my information for you all. So there is 3 for the normal lab. There is 3 for cruel lab. There is 3 for merciless, and there is used to be 6 for the eternal lab. It's no longer needed. You just need the in order to enter that one. Alright, now that we've gotten our lab, now we can continue throughout this area. Here's another meat sack that we're just going to ignore. I have never seen this before. I know that if it's open up here, that means that the lab trial is somewhere up here. If it's closed, the lab trial is usually like either all the way down here or it's this way. But I haven't seen the upper prison and the lab in the same area like this before. That's a new one to me. Alright, we have one more area to go before we are fighting the first, quote, boss. This is the first major boss that you fight, not the first mega boss, like Act Boss, but just the first major boss that you fight in the game. His name is Brutus. He is the warden of this prison. Not technically the warden. I believe Piety actually made him, but I am not fresh up on my Path of Exile lore. I'm going to be quite honest with all of
When I'm ready and not before.
This area is fairly straightforward just to run through. It's kind of usually just a big square that you can run through. So I usually like to head up. If I'm able to head up, I'll head all the way up, and then I'll head to the left or right depending on which way I'm allowed to go. So as you see here, I just went up. I couldn't go left, so I went right all the way down this way. And now we are going to be fighting the first boss. You can see there's lots of dead people in the ground.
To the one place where your talents are free to grow and be truly feared.
And yes, that is Piety. That is our first antagonist. I believe that's the word. First villain of the game. We spent a lot of time chasing around Piety and fighting here. But we are about to fight Brutus. If you just keep following this blood trail in the upper prison, eventually you will reach him. He should be right around the corner here in about 3 seconds. There he is.
Your sentence is death.
And we just have to kill Brutus here. Now notice how every time we want to shoot him, we are putting down a firewall and shooting the rolling magma through it. That's I believe I said this before, this does make us do increased damage. Can we take this guy with us? Is this 2 or is this 1? I think it's 2. I don't think we can quite get it. What if I just socket some things real quick? I'm trying to think about how I can carry all this with me. I can't. Alright, hang on. Back to the Warden's Quarter. We want this. This is more important. Do I have any just white items that I picked up? We're going to drop a small mana flask. We don't need it. It's not important. We have some medium mana flasks and stuff if we need them. So we're just going to drop that. Because the currency is more important. And then we're going to take our waypoint and go straight to line as what? To sell again. Talk to Nessa and sell.
Farewell.
And then we're going to talk to Tarkly here. This is our reward for entering the prison. It gives us one of these abilities of Clarity, Summon Skeletons, Lightning Warp, Flame Dash, Wither, and a Body Swap. We're going to go ahead and take Flame Dash here. Because it's much better than, where is it? Frostbite. We're going to throw those in. And toss all of our currencies in. We're slowly building up a set. And through our flasks, they automatically go into here because I've set up a affinity tab. So anything that's a flask will go in there first. What stashes do I hit? Ah, yes, this is all my stuff from the main league. We'll be making our own tabs probably at some point, but that's okay. Alright, let us take our next point, which is avoid interruption while casting and elemental resistance. And go straight back to Prisoner's Gate. Now, if you want to get to Prisoner's Gate, the very first thing I always recommend is find the cliff edge. So we found the cliff edge, now just follow this. And the second you can go out of this cliff edge area, just keep going. You can follow the road if you want some more story. Piety kind of keeps us from going that way. But there is no reason for us to interact with that part. Once you get here, I always just run along the outside and try and find the other way out. I keep accidentally going back to that full map way. That is not very conducive for how a lot of you want to be playing this game. I apologize. Well, maybe a lot of you play this game that way, but it doesn't help viewability on YouTube, at least. So here's our way out. As you can see, this whole thing is just a giant circle. And this is our way out, and that's what we're going to go for. Oh, another blue pack. So we're going to stop and kill. We're kind of at the point where I'm okay with stopping and killing all of the blue packs that we find. We do enough damage. There's no reason for us to not. And blues give a fair amount of XP. So anything that seems to be more than about 5 mobs together, or is a blue pack, we're going to stop and kill. Welcome.
The sirens appear to be dining well.
Welcome to the ship's graveyard. This area consists of a lot of ghosts, a lot of water guys, and some of those little serpenty dudes that we saw back in the Summer's Passage. There's 2 main objectives here. One is finding the way into, there's frogs. One is finding a way into Merveil's cave. And the other one is getting the Flame for Fairgrade. So they made a really amazing change coming into this last couple leagues, I believe. Not this last league, but the league before this. Is... Sorry. I'm getting distracted trying to make sure I set all my stuff up. Once you're done with the ship graveyard area, so we're looking for a way down right now. Once you find that and go through it, it'll lead you straight directly out to Fairgrave. So this is Fairgraves right here. He is a ghost pirate. Or is it an actual pirate? I'm not quite sure. I think he's a ghost. You can see through him. We're not going to talk to him. What he has to say to me, it doesn't really matter. You can sit there and listen to him if you want to learn his lore and kind of discover things. If you are also interested in the lore, reading all these little books, like this guy right here, will kind of explain some of the story. The other thing is they have it to where some things, as you walk away, they do continue talking to you, which is nice for those people that want to learn that lore. I, once again, do not want to learn the lore. I am anti-lore. Not anti-lore, I just takes too much time. But this game's lore is really, really fun. There's a lot of really fun things in it as you learn it. Our next thing that we are doing, we are trying to find Merveil's Cave, and we're trying to find our way out. Or we're trying to find our way down. So we're going to head up here. I'm hoping that it's actually up here and it's not over here. I did that thing again. It's going to be a learning experience for me, guys. Very brilliant. So here's the ship graveyard cave. A joke with me and my friends is that the ship graveyard is a linear path. Because no matter which way you go, you're always going the wrong way. It's just how it is. If anybody has a way to actually get through this quickly and easily, please, by all means. We are all trying to figure out how this layout works. And it's so annoying. We don't get it. But it would be freaking awesome if we're actually able to get this area solved to make it just a little bit faster when we level up in League Start. Oh, we have found our first rogue Exile. No idea what they are. They're from another league. They're very annoying. They also tend to do lots of damage. So I try not to kind of do anything with them a lot. But looks like this one's pretty weak. And they drop a bunch of stuff, which is nice.
Too much clutter.
We'll throw out any of the normal stuff to get some of this stuff in. I'm gonna have to throw out these boots because we need space for the ult. The All Flame is being protected by a big bad water elemental thing. As soon as we get to it, that is. We see where the door is. It's on the bottom right here. And so that's where we're trying to go. Ah, here we are. Alright. So we're going to kill this guy here. He summons tentacles and he likes to freeze you a lot. So kind of do your best. He doesn't do too much damage. He does drop a couple items which are nice. Pick up our All Flame and head out to the shipyard where it's going to drop us right off in front of Fairgraves. So let's go ahead and put our next points in. We're going to take Deep Wisdom and an Inch Point, and then we're going to start this fight here. So we are over leveled. We should probably be at this level by the time we are exiting Act 1. And Mr. Fairgraves is dead, and we're going to move on. We're going to go straight directly into this waypoint, and we're going to go sell some of our items real quick. We're going to take this 10 dex node right here. ID them to see if they're any good. Some cold res, fire damage, life, mana, some dex. No reason not to put them on. No reason not to put them on. Throw all this stuff in. We're actually amassing a pretty good thing. We already have an alchemy, a couple alterations, and an orb of chance. That is like fantastic. The big reason why we're picking up everything that we are to sell it is for the transmutation shards and the alteration shards we get. Depending on whether you sell it unidentified or identified, will give you a certain amount of alteration and transmutation shards. I don't exactly remember what gives orb of, or alchemy shards. I think it's an identified rare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's just an augment. Then I am not sure what gives alchemy shards, but something does. We have a medium life flask here. We're just going to uh, actually do, and then we're going to do our first vendor recipe, which is selling 3 life for a medium flask. So now we have 2 medium flasks here. Excellent. Oh, this is the reward for beating Fairgraves. We get a skill point, and we're going to check Tarkley again. Once again, I don't know when his stuff refreshes. I never paid attention. I think it's time-based. So you might be wondering, where are we going now? We just finished the first thing, and I already said we're over leveled for the act we are now. Where are we going next? We are going to be going to a couple important points here. We're going to be going to Trickery. We're going to be taking Elemental Focus. And we're going to be taking Snowforged. Notice all these kind of have the same kind of theme. They do more fire damage, so basically just give them more damage. 20% increased damage, increased elemental damage, increased fire damage. Like, that's kind of like the very important thing, is all this fire damage that we're getting. It's going to help us level. It's going to help our leveling process immensely. No, it's not something that you want to look down on. But that's where we're heading next. So we're going to put a point here, and we're going to head back to the ship graveyard. We're going to pick up those blues that we had there real quick. All the way up here. And then we're going to go find Merville's Cave, head back to town, and sell once again. And then start our final venture in Act 4. Wow, in Act 1, sorry. So let's go find Merville's Cave. And this is Act 1, Merville. There are a couple things that we could do to help increase our chances at killing Merville without dying. One of them is getting some sapphire rings. There is another vendor recipe that you can do that I will be looking at as soon as we go back again real quick, which is to sell some blue gems with an iron ring. So a blue gem with an iron ring will give you a sapphire ring. What a sapphire ring does, there's 3 types: sapphire, ruby, and topaz. And they increase your frost, fire, and lightning resistance accordingly. So we're going to go back and we're going to sell these items, and we're going to see if Nessa has any iron rings on her that she can sell. For entering Merville's Cavern for the first time, we do get our point. I'm going to see if he has any interesting things here to say about this. Does not. Okay. So, what we're going to be doing, what do we have? Rolling Magma, we have Elemental Proliv. We are going to move, where's Flame Dash? We're going to move Flame Dash here. So what do we have a choice of? Essence Drain, Mana Bond, Flesh Offering, Creeping Frost, Arc, Volatile Dead, Blazing Salvo, Scorching Rain, Ice Nova. I've never seen Blazing Salvo, so I'm just going to pick that up real quick because that sounds fun. I've never seen what this skill does, so we're going to find out together.
Hello.
I almost left without checking. Do you have any iron rings? She has 1 iron ring. Do you have any sapphire rings? And a sapphire ring. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to buy this iron ring, and we're going to buy this sapphire ring. Did we need to spend that many scrolls of wisdom? No.
Goodbye.
Does it help us in our fight against Piety? Wow, I keep saying Piety. Against Merville? Yes. And that is what we want. So we're going to take a gem here, in this case Fireball, which we're not going to use.
Hello.
And we're going to sell this Fireball and this Iron Ring together to give ourselves a Sapphire Ring. So together, that gave us a total of, what is that, 52 cold res, which means we are already over-capped on cold res for this section. We technically don't need one of these rings, but we're just going to keep it on for now. And we are ready to go fight Merville. Merville does primarily cold damage. Sorry about that, got distracted. Merville does primarily cold damage. And it should make for a pretty quick fight once we get to her. Very creepy, Merville, thank you. Holy Chaos Orb. Is there Chaos Orb in this one? There is. Chance to drop an additional Chaos Orb. Man, how lucky for that. Alright, that's what we like to see. I could technically be looking at, well, all these things. Like, I could have moved this up for the more monsters that we're going to find in this area for higher chance of Chaos Orb. But I haven't, so, and I'm probably not going to pay attention to that to most of this thing. It's just not very important, to me at least. Alright, into the Cavern of Anger, we have this last floor to go before we fight Merville. We'll find Merville's arena here in the Cavern of Anger.
I barely recognize myself.
So this is a strongbox. As you can see, it says it's guarded by a pack of monsters, and it's unidentified. You can go ahead and identify it and see what it says. But generally, most people don't. They just kind of roll the dice, and if they die, they die. So we're gonna hit this guy. We're gonna run away because it casts Ice Nova, and we're just gonna shoot our ability towards it and see what it drops. I do remember I need to set this up so it always attacks while moving. Oh yeah, what does Salva do? Oh, I like it. Does do good damage. I mean, I can't tell. Those guys kind of die really fast anyway. I mean, doesn't do bad damage. That's kind of interesting. Give us a treasure chest. Thank you.
I need more mana.
That is very interesting. I do like that ability. That's really fun to play with. What if I just replaced it? How much does this do? 35? How much does this do? 124. Obviously, okay. So we know which one's the better one to do. But it is fun. That's okay. No more wasting time. Off to Merville we go. There's a blue pack up here, so we're going to waste our time just a little bit longer, actually. And just like that, of course, the game goes ahead and gives us a 29% Sapphire rate after we just wasted our hard-earned currency. Some fire res, some cold res, some max life. We'll throw it on over this guy right here, but as you can see, we are well over capped on cold resistance. In fact, we don't even need this ring either. So that is funny. But that's PoE for you, that's what it does. Run away from those guys real quick, because they're going to explode. And hit this button. Maybe get some fun currency. Alright, and now we are going to be going to fight Merville. We're gonna put one more point in here. This strength point right here. And I'm gonna focus, and we're gonna find Merville. Alright, phase 1 is done. We see your true face, Merville. Alright.
Poor fishwife.
With
Was
that,
love that did this
we're gonna
to
go
her.
ahead and drop some of these items here. We need to move a whole bunch of these items out of the way. I don't think I can. I don't think I can take this scepter. Do I have another blue here that I can drop? I do. Okay. Alright. That's very good. We like to see it. Alright, and that is the end of Act 1. We're going to make our way to the Act 2 town,
It's nice to see there's
which
still
is the
some
forest
life in
encampment, as
decrepit
this
corpse of a
quest
continent.
so levelingly told us. And then we're going to end the video there. For a final thing, I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. I hope everybody has enjoyed. I know this is more of a long form type of video, and it's not for everybody, but I know I enjoy watching these kinds of videos a lot, even if it's not someone that's talking most of the time. But I know I enjoy watching them a lot, and I just want to be able to make the content that I enjoy, that I would watch, that everybody else would like to watch too. If you have any tips, if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, anything you did not like as well, go ahead and leave it down in the comments down below, and I will do my best to address those as we can. This guy's kicking my ass though. There we go.
Too much clutter.
Alright, here it is. The Forest Encampment. Welcome to Act 2. And we'll be doing Act 2 in the next video. So thank you everyone for watching. And if you liked the video and would like to see more, go ahead and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video enough, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That does help the algorithm, as well as leaving a comment down below. Thank you all, and have a wonderful day.